Good day, everyone, and welcome to Lesson 10, our final video discussion for Introductory Economics. Lesson 10 is ISLM framework. This is included in the Introductory Macroeconomics part of our course. The objective for this lesson is for you students to have the ability to understand the ISLM model and apply the transmission mechanism based on different economic scenarios. Now, the name ISLM originated from its basic equilibrium condition. The I stands for investment, and the S stands for savings, and I and the S must be equal. Okay. And likewise, L stands for money demand, and then M stands for money supply. So that is why it's called ISLM, because I must be equals to S, and that's investment is equals to S, and then L is equals to M, or money demand is equals to money supply. So that's the whole concept of this framework or the model. Okay. So this model is developed and used by Keynesians. If you haven't watched the video yet about Introduction to John Maynard Keynes in a YouTube video, you may click this link or you may go back and select the YouTube video that I provided in the Google Classroom before you continue watching this video discussion. You need to have a background about Keynesian economics before you proceed to this video discussion. So just to summarize lang the whole Keynesian economics, I will try to summarize it in one sentence. It is the Keynesian approach. It it entails that government intervention is needed in a country or in an economy. Okay, there should be a government intervention, especially during recession, because the classical economist way or the approach of classical economists of the free hand market or the let alone policy will not work if there's a recession or if there's a depression in the economy. There should be a government intervention. So in his book, John Maynard Keynes explained the importance of government intervention. So that's Keynesian economics. So for you to have a further um, idea or information about John Maynard Keynes, watch the YouTube video first before you proceed with this discussion. Okay. So since all market transactions involve the exchange of money, the short-run model is expanded to include the money supply. So, if you recall the circular flow diagram, as you can remember, there's a goods market, right? And aside from the goods market, there is a money market. So, hindi lang yung goods and services yung nagfo-flow sa whole economy. The money market also flows. And so, the money supply should be included in the equilibrium. Okay, so the equilibrium output now requires that there be a simultaneous equilibrium in the goods market and the money market. So the goods market, that is the IS, or in the investment and saving goods market, because naadiri ang consumption, ang investment, ang government spending, and then ang investment ng mga firms. Mo ni siya, naa siya sa goods market. Okay, and then the money market, that's the LM, money. So the quantity, the demanded, money demand rather, and then the money supply is in the money market. Okay, so in order to have the simultaneous equilibrium, the IS must be equals to the LM. Now let's discuss the IS curve. The IS curve shows for any level of output or income, which is denoted by Y, by Y. The interest rate, which is denoted by R, for which the good market is in equilibrium. So if the Y and the R is in equilibrium, it shows that the IS curve also has an equilibrium in the goods market. The IS curve slopes downward, so pababa. At all points of the curve, the investment is equals to savings, or the I is equals to S. Let's discuss the I, or the investment. So investment and interest rate. The expanded model of investment is influenced by the rate of investment. So that's when you see this hat, hat akong tawag. So when you see this, it means that whatever the variable is, it is autonomous. So for this example, since na I hat si I, so it means this is autonomous investment. Okay? So if, for example, C ang hat, it means autonomous consumption. So later I will discuss that. But that's the common, that is how we call it in macroeconomics once na yung mga hat. So ibig sabihin autonomous is ang kung sa Bisaya pa, ang kabuuhan. Okay? Ang kabuuhan. Autonomous investment. So, let's go back to investment. So, investment is equal to autonomous investment minus the behavioral coefficient multiplied to the interest rate. So, you have it here. Okay? So, note that there is a different level of investment for each rate of interest, and their relationship is negative. So you can see it here, negative relationship. So if this is, if there is a decrease in interest rate, as you can see, there will be an increase in investment. Diba? So for example, this is 5%, and then this is 3%. So bumaba yung interest rate, there will be a change in the investment. And what will happen is if this is 100, when the interest rate is 5, if the interest rate goes down to 3, the investment now would increase to, let's say, 150. Okay, so this is just an example. But the important note is that you understand what would happen if the interest rate increases or decreases. So let's say, for example, the interest rate increase to 7, the investment now will decrease into, let's say, 75. Okay. Okay. And why is that? Because if the interest rate is too high, masyadong mahal ang interest, mas lesser ang mga firms na mag-i-invest kasi mahal ang interest. Pero if ang interest is mababa, it will encourage more firms or more firms or businesses to invest more, so mas tataas. So as I've said earlier na ay negative relationship between interest rate, or denoted as I here, and investment, or denoted as a big I, a capital I. Okay? So kani siya, ang maliit na I, it means interest rate in percentage. And then, ang malaki na I, which is this one or this one, this is the investment. So, if tumaas yung interest rate, bababa yung investment dahil nga meron silang negative relationship, and it will lead to also a decrease in the output or the income. So, why? It's either output or income. And in reverse, if the interest rate goes down, as like as this example for this one, the investment will increase, and then the output or income will also increase. So you can see this basic story in this two um, figure or illustration. So as you can see, bumaba dito yung interest. If this is the previous interest rate, this is the current interest rate. Since there is a decrease in interest rate, it will lead to an increase in output or in income. So na I change sa IS since interest is equals to savings. So if ang in no 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 rather investment is equals to savings, I'm sorry. So since investment is equals to savings, when the um interest rate goes down, the investment will go up. So mo na dire in Y1 you can see na increase sa investment, or I mean sa output, from this point to this point. Okay? So that's the IS curve. That is how the IS curve will look like if there's a change in the interest rate. Okay? Now, constructing the IS equation, we discuss about I, or investment. So, as I've said ganiha, I is equals to autonomous investment minus behavioral coefficient or in interest rate. Now, the S, it's a bit complicated. It will be further discussed in your macroeconomics, but I will just give you a glimpse of what the S is. S is equals to negative autonomous consumption plus 1 minus the um, the MPC multiplied by the disposable income. So the IS curve shows all combinations of I and Y such that the investment or the injection, or this one, is equals to savings or leakage, thus IS. So when you say injection or investment, injection kasi pumapasok yung um, pumapasok yung goods and services by, for example, na-change sa interest rate, bumaba, so tataas yung investment, so it's an injection, di ba? And then it's equals to savings or leakage. Leakage because sa savings na adire ang consumption and spending. So that's why it's a leakage kasi gumagastos, di ba? So thus I is equals to S. Now let's discuss the LM part. We're done with the IS, the investment and the savings. Now let's discuss the LM. So L, as I've said, is the money demanded, and then the M is the money supply. The LM curve is a graphical representation by the relationship between output and the real interest rate that clears the asset market. The LM curve always slopes upward, and at all points the curve um, money demand is equals to money supply. The four players in the money supply includes the central bank. For the Philippines, we have BSP, the banks, depositors, borrowers from banks, and then the BSP monetary system conducts monetary policy, clears checks, and regulates bank. So the M, or the money supply, can be denoted as autonomous M. So it's the currency and checking deposits that is only financial assets included in the transaction of money supply, currency, the coins and bills in circulation. And demand deposits are deposits in the banks that are intended for spending and circulated through the use of checks, which are as good as money. And then also BSP controls the money supply, or this one. Okay, so that's the M. Now let's discuss the L. So the L, or the money demand function, is L is equals to the fraction of income held as an average transaction of money balance minus the behavioral coefficient indicating the interest sensitivity of a store of value demand for money. So that's L is equals to KY minus HI. So this is the money demand function. So if ang M is the autonomous money supply, the L is this one. So that is the LM, okay, for the money market. So the real money supply curve is a vertical line, this one, the green line, as you can see. It does not depend on the real interest rate. So if a money supply is set ng BSP na, for example, is 100 billion, so that's it. Mo na siyang vertical line. Mo na gina siya kung sa iset sa BSP. And then the money demand curve slopes downward if this is when it's in an LM schedule, okay? So the money demand curve slopes downward with higher interest, attractiveness of money as an asset decreases. And then the asset market equilibrium occurs at the intersection of the MS and the MD curves. So kani, kani, o kani. So when MD increases, people sell non-monetary assets, their price fall and their interest rate increases, as you can see here. Okay, and then what will happen to the LM curve? As I've said, it's upward sloping. So if the interest rate increases, the LM curve also increases. And when the interest rate goes down, the LM curve, the output or the income also decreases. So there will be a decrease in the LM curve. Okay. So I believe it's clear naman in this illustration of the LM schedule. So this curve represents the locus points that traces the combinations of interest rate and output where demand for money equals the supply for money. In an LM curve, as I've said, it is upward sloping. An increase in income raises money demand. Since the supply of real balance M is fixed, there will be an excess demand in the money market and initial interest rate. The interest rate must rise to restore equilibrium in the money market. Speaking of equilibrium, the simultaneous equilibrium in the money market exists at only one output Y asterisk, this one, and one rate of interest, or I asterisk, this one. So this is how it would look like if the IS and LM is together. If it is together, graphically illustrating the money and the goods market. Okay. So we already established now the link between the goods market and the money market. So plan investment depends on the interest rate, and that money demand depends on aggregate output. Okay? So money demand, ang kadaghan sa demand the money depends on Y, and then it is determined by adding up consumption, investment, and government spending. It will be further discussed in your macroeconomics class. So Y, or the aggregate output, the money demand depends on this Y. It's a goods market, and that the investment in the goods market depends on the R, and that the R is determined by the money market when money demand is equals to money supply. So that's the equilibrium in both the goods and money markets, or simply the ISLM model. This is the reference that I've used for this discussion. Now, here is your assignment for lesson 10. Direction, write all of your answers in your Intro-Econ activity notebook. This is 20 points in total. The scenario is, if country A increase its interest rate from 4.2% to 5.6%, illustrate what will happen to the IS curve and the LM schedule. So dapat duha. Okay, that's the illustrate what will happen to the IS curve, that's first, and then the second one to the LM schedule. This is 20 points in total. You may screenshot this part. Okay. Now let's move to the announcement, important announcement for Interaecon. The submission of your activity notebook, as I've said, is on May 3, 2024. That is on Friday. Class PIO and auditor will collect and place it on my table ang notebook. So make sure na imahatag ninyo sa inyong PIO and auditor. Butang iyong name, ang inyong notebook. If walay name, dili yun na ako ma-record ang inyong grade. Okay? So make sure na na-adjoy pangan ang inyong notebook. If you need your notebook for your notes, I suggest picturein na lang ninyo ang mga parts sa inyong notes um or just submit a separate notebook na katulang jud ang mga activity. Okay? Now, aside from the submission of your Enjoy Connectivity notebook, the pointers, I will be giving you the pointers to review for your final examination, which is scheduled on May 8, 2024. So first, the scope of Introductory Microeconomics, that's lesson 7 and 8, Utility and Theory of Production. And then for macroeconomics, that's lesson 9 and 10, including Keynesianism or Keynesian economics. Lesson 9, macroeconomic measures, and lesson 10, ISLM framework. So expect that there will be a computation. So bring a calculator, your own calculator. Borrowing will not be allowed anymore. And also bring a blue book. So if you have further clarifications and questions regarding this discussion and for your next face-to-face class, do not hesitate to personally message me. Okay, that's the end of the discussion. I'll be seeing you next week. Goodbye, everyone.